You would be thinking, why is mindset the first topic, right? The only reason is success is half what you think, and the rest half is what you do about it and why you do about it. Let me ask you something. Have you ever find yourself sitting in the morning and thinking, oh wow, today is going to be a wonderful day? And at the end of the day, when you just recollect that thought in the morning, you actually find couple of things, or if not more, at least one thing where you were really joyous to hear about that news. Isn't it? It happens with us all the time, right? Or at certain circumstances, it happens with us. And on certain days when you got up, you had a feeling that it's not going to work out, nothing is going good, and believe me, in that particular day you had some incident that happened because of which you reinforce that it's not a good day, right? We all had it. So rather than thinking, oh, I'll not get a job, why shouldn't I think I'll get a best job available in the market? We can think that, right? So that is why mindset is first.
Because if I think I can have a job, I'm right and I may get the job soon. And if I think I just cannot find the job, here too I'm right. I probably won't find it soon. How to know if your mind gates are open to opportunity or not? If you are saying there are no jobs in market, I'm not getting any good offers, there are no interview calls, or I'm not good enough, I ask many questions in interview, I don't know I'll ever be getting a job, then it's a closed mindset. Till the time it's not open, a journey becomes very difficult. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it becomes difficult.
How many jobs are there in market? Let me give you two examples. First example, imagine, let's say you went to a mall or a shop, and since we are idle or we have nothing interesting to do, what we did is we went to an aisle which had potato chips or any chips, your favorite chips you can say. And since you were not interested in buying it, still you went there and you started counting how many packets of chips are there. You counted that there were 27 packets of chips, and you were okay. You had nothing, you didn't want it to buy, so you came out just like that. Exactly after a week or maybe 10 days, you went to that mall again. This time too, you were not interested in buying anything. You just went there. You again went to the same aisle of potato chips or your favorite chips for that matter. And out of curiosity, you wanted to count it all again. So what you did is you counted those packet of chips and the number came to 22. Last week it was 27. This week it is 22. There was a difference of just 5. Out of curiosity, you asked that service representative at that particular aisle that, I came and counted. Last week it was 27. This week it is just 22. I really love these chips. They are my favorite. But how come just 5 have been sold in 1 week? How is that possible? What do you think? What would be the answer of that particular person? Any guesses? The lady said, the moment number goes less than 20, we refill it back to 30 full. In jobs, this is very common. You feel there are no jobs in market. However, just like packet of chips, before you even come to know how many have been sold, or even if you keep a track working really hard, people are getting jobs. Similar thing happens in job search as well. We think that only 5 packets of chips have been sold. Only 5 positions are there to find a job. However, there are many job positions, but before we reach there, many have got, the vacancies have got occupied. So this happens in our job search as well. Let me ask you another question. Because of COVID, probably we are confined to our houses, and we might think that we are not getting job. There are people who are working from home, but at this moment we will not consider them. And here we will figure out, are there jobs or not, right? So I'll ask you certain question, and I'll also answer it obviously, but you also can have your view, right? So the first question is, how many people are going out of their houses or are working overtime during this COVID phase, or any phase for that matter? But since it is COVID and we all have strong opinion about it, we'll cover that. So you will say people who are into medical field, doctors, nurses, paramedical, right? Agreed, they are working full time. Okay, so these people definitely would be working from hospitals. And do you think hospital runs just because of doctors and the nurse and the paramedical staff? No. For a hospital to run efficiently, we require a admin guy, somebody who will take care of the administration so that there is a seamless workflow. There is a need of an HR. Why? Who will pay the salaries? Who will ensure a roster, or I'm sure rosters would be there. Who will ensure that thing? So who will pay the salaries? Who will resolve the grievance of those doctors in case they have any? So HR is required. Also, do you think IT is not required? Of course IT is required. So apart from these people, who all would be working? Let's say somebody has patients are visiting hospital, and definitely they'll have to pay that amount. But do you think everybody would be paying right there upfront? Many would be having Mediclaim. So do you think a person from that particular Mediclaim would be not sitting there in the hospital? If not there, obviously in back end that person has to work. Life insurance, general insurance definitely are working overtime. Also, does a patient get cured just because doctors are there, nurses are there? No. A patient requires medicine. Patient requires those additional systems or tools. There are many. Just to get oxygen, a stethoscope, a thermometer. There are so many tools which are required to cure a patient or to support a patient so that he can get cured. So the pharmaceutical people who are into the process of manufacturing medicines, they would be working full time. Somebody who's making those machineries, IT machineries related to curing a patient. We all see those machineries in hospital, right? So that also has to be manufactured. For that mask, for example, that somebody who's into manufacturing of that has to work overtime. Now you would say this is all related to medical. We'll park that aside. Now what do we do at home? Let's say we are not working, we don't do anything. So what do? We like to watch movies, maybe series through Netflix, Amazon Prime. So, and we like to eat, right? Obviously we'll eat if you're watching a movie, or any which ways we need to eat. So to just watch that particular movie on Netflix, what is the platform? Service provider provides us that internet, right? It could be Vodafone, it could be Jio. If we have internet basis, that only we would be able to see Netflix. So a telephone operator or somebody who provides us internet has to work, right? Those are the people who are not into medical. Okay, somebody who's making those films in Netflix, they would be working obviously in their own way, but they would be working, right? All those shows which are being made, those people have to work. So their whole team has to work, right? Okay, next is Earlier, when we wanted our basic grocery, dairy, what we used to do? We used to just walk up to the nearest grocery store and we would get those things. But is it the scenario now? No. We don't want to step out of our houses. We want somebody to deliver it at our doorstep. So, many online platforms who cater to these services along with other fashion related stuff, these people are working overtime. Amazon has told that they have doubled their business, and I'm sure other online portals as well would have done really well during these times. So don't you think so? There is a whole team that is working just to ensure that one packet of that chip or that dress is being delivered to your place. So it's not one people, there is a whole big team of 1500, 200 plus people working to get a product delivered. So these kind of platforms would be working. These are few examples that I have shown just to show you that there are jobs available in market. And believe me, every company is hiring all the time, even in a bad economy, as long as you have what they need. Our aim also would be to meet as many hiring managers as possible, because the more number of hiring managers we meet, chances of us getting a job are high. So we'll ensure we meet maximum hiring managers to find a job.
Recognize your value, neither under nor above, in your mind as well as when you speak about yourself. Recognize the value you bring to the table. It could be your analytical skill or your critical skills, maybe your writing skill, or how you juggle between things, and everything else that came along with your degree. For example, even if it is a receptionist job, note what all good things you did. You ensured every person walking into the office is greeted well. In case he has to wait, you used to update every guest so that they feel comfortable. Right? So recognize your value. And next is very important, manage your fears. I have never met a person who didn't have some fear about the change that comes with a new job. This fear can manifest itself before you have even landed the job, leading to a shaky interview performance. Affirm yourself that you have been a great contributor, and I'm sure you would have been, right? Also, to pay bills, in case you have to take up some assignment, take it up. But don't make that your job. Job search is a process that requires time, patience, and it also forces you to stretch a bit.
When we don't have a job, we need to ensure that we make job search a full time but a balanced one. So I have seen people who would search for a job for 6, 7, 8 hours in a day or even more for a couple of days, and then they are so frustrated, they are so irate, they are so angry that there are no jobs available, they are not getting any phone calls. So for the next couple of days, they don't open that portal to view what activity has been done, anything. So they don't open it. They feel that they're working too much. But at the end of the day, productivity is what counts. And your person is active, but productive work is not coming out. We would spend just 2 to 3 hours on job search engine, not more than that, and we would do it every day. Also, there are certain set of people who give up even before starting. So if you have given up, now is the time to please start again. Also, in job search, we have to be prepared that we would be hearing more no's rather than yes. So accept it mentally. If somebody says no, that is okay. That is a part and parcel in this job search method or job search process. Also, if you have a friend or somebody you know who equally is looking for a job, then you can work with that person. If not, tell a friend. In case you don't have any partner like that, please inform this to a friend and make that person accountable. Let him or her ask you at the end of the day what you have done. And when need be, he or she would be able to push you when you are demotivated. So now, why are we doing this? Why do we want a balance? The only reason is interviewers don't like somebody who is a dull soul. I'm sure nobody likes a dull soul, right? And because of any XYZ reason, we are not working at this point of time or want to switch to another job, whatever could be the reason. Probably we are not happy with either of the thing in our current organization or our past organization. If we have something negative, it passes on to the person sitting right in front of you. So we want to project a very confident, charismatic and a positive person when we sit in that particular chair giving interview. Few would be saying that they can immediately bring that confident self of their own and give an interview. Yes, of course, many people have that skill. We all in fact have that skill. However, during interview, there is a probability that something which you had not expected that pops up in an interview for which you were not prepared. And your attention right now was showing a very confident person, but something else has come up. What would you do? It becomes very difficult to manage certain things, and there is a very short span wherein we have to impress the interviewer, we have to showcase whatever good we have. So, if at all we are very positive, charismatic from day one, we are very positive from day one, we have correct attitude, we are happy, then in that case, we don't have to think about one portion of interview, right? Your body language, your attitude, your positive mindset matters a lot in interviews. So we want to ensure at least one thing which we have control of, we would do it from day one, so that our focus should be on other important aspects of interview. So this is the time to prepare for whatever is in our hand right at the moment. So we'll prepare for a positive mindset so it is easier for us to crack interview.